All right, I don't know how my sound's going to be. Can you guys hear me? Okay, it's echoing. I'm going to go out and come back in.
Okay, it's echoing. I'm gonna.
Okay, hopefully this works. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Okay, I can't hear myself, so it's weird. All right.
Okay, I can't hear myself.
So I was hoping that Ernie would be here. I don't know if he is. I know he was live a few minutes ago. So my guess is it's going to be the game of streaming me while he's on live, which is fine. We can do it the hard way, we can do it the easy way, but one thing's for sure is we're going to do it my way. That's just how it is around here. Um, I know that I've gotten a lot of texts and messages, people concerned, wondering where I've been. I've been pretty quiet. To be honest, where I've been is just kind of chilling out, taking a break, taking some stuff in, observing, obviously, and just kind of reevaluating some stuff. Because I'm going to be honest, guys, none of us are perfect. We all grow every day, and a situation happened, and it really made me reevaluate who I am, what I truly feel and believe in my heart about what's right and what's wrong. I broke some of my own rules, and I let some walls down and just got a little too close. And in the midst of all of that, I started to lose sight of me. And um, I realized, though, I I had people that I considered social media friends, and all of those people are no longer around. Shit happens, and that's okay. I have no hard feelings for anyone. I don't wish anyone any ill will at all. People come into your life for a reason and a season. And I guess that reason had, just come to its end. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't mean, though, that I have changed who I am, what I believe in, and what I stand for just because I might be in a chat of some people who aren't other people's favorites. Sometimes I'm there for the people in the chat and what the creator's talking about, not necessarily because I believe in everything that person does. Um, and there's just some reasons that things have to be handled in a certain way. I mean, it was a situation I needed longer than 5 minutes to handle it, and I couldn't handle it in the way I guess that was expected of me. So it is what it is. I still care about these people, and I will speak when spoken to. But it was like a knife in the gut. I'll just say that, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. There's certain people that know what I'm talking about, but it's not something that needs to be used for content because we are here to fry bigger fish. Well, actually, it's a little fish. Um, and that is Little Big Earn. But before we get started, you guys, I have lots of notes. So if you hear papers shuffling, it's because I am a big nerd. Um, I love to research. So if anyone needs anything researched, do not go to Crazy Gigi. Come to me. So I was thinking about phrases. Nicolina, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link for you, and you can come up for this part. Um, but I was thinking about phrases that we always hear a certain someone say, and I was like, damn, I've seen those somewhere before. And you guys, if I'm sniffling, I'm not on coke. I'm not doing any kind of drugs over here. It was in the 70s, almost 80s 2 days ago, and it's in the 50s now. My sinuses are all jacked up. It is what it is, but you know, that's that. So there. So I found this article, and it was about the top 10 signs that a person is lying to you, like phrases they would say. Number one, stalling tactics. And then I want you, as I read these off, I want you guys to think about, recent times that you may have heard someone use one of these. So, number one, they use stalling tactics. And that simply means we have a visitor. Hey,
Hi.
I'm going to my camera so you can see I'm a person. Hang on. My lighting sucks though. Hey everyone.
Hi. Are you a Ginger
Nice
Ninja?
to meet you. Yes, I am. All right. So with stalling tactics, they're going to use phrases like, did I do it? Of course not.
Oh, Lord. Where'd you go?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
My notebook is like all over the place. So they're going to say things like, did I do it? Of course I didn't do that. So they're stalling. They're trying to make you rethink what you're already thinking. Number two, they skip contractions. They all of a sudden go from sounding like a hick, like me, to being all prim and proper. Instead of saying, I didn't do it, they're going to say, I did not do it.
Yep.
They make sweeping statements. I would never, or I always. That's leading you to believe that they'll never do anything wrong. They're always on the right side of wrong, which is a crock of shit.
or to be honest.
Yes, that's a good one there. And it comes up a couple of times. It actually comes up in overemphasizing trustworthiness.
Yep.
To be honest, to tell you the truth, believe me, let me be clear. The fact is, and we've heard that one a lot lately, or the fact of the matter is. They will also use hedging statements, which means um, they actually know exactly what you're talking about. They remember it verbatim, but they want you to think that they do not. Or they might have a general idea. As far as I recall, what do you mean? What's the meaning of this? If you really think about it, we heard that one a couple of times yesterday. What I remember is, heard that one a lot the last few days, and the way I see it. So after the hedging statements, they avoid I statements at all costs. They just don't want to, they want to completely remove themselves from the story like they weren't even there, even though they were all up in it. They dodge direct answers. This one came up on the stand, I believe, a few nights ago. Do you think I would do such a thing? Well, yeah, I fucking do. They go into defensive mode. How can you doubt me? Do you believe me? And that also comes out in a few different ways. It's, or y'all believe me, don't you? Deflecting and evading. That means they kind of just don't want to talk about it. They got better shit to do. They don't have time to be sitting here trying to convince you that you're wrong. Do I have, don't you have something better to do? Why do you want to know that? That's not important. What are you talking about? Well, hot damn, I just heard that one a few minutes ago. What are you talking about? Well, we're fixing to tell you what we're all talking about. And you were invited to be here and you chose not to be. So just like you assumed about me, I'm going to assume you're scarred.
So there.
So there. Number 10, embellishing significant details while avoiding important ones. That's investigation 101. When someone is using fluffer words or embellishments in their statements, then they're probably lying to you. They're giving you too much information, hoping that you'll just give up on trying to process all of it. So keep those phrases in mind because, we're going to keep trudging along here. I've got some time stamps for everyone. Nicolina, I know you said you're going to be leaving work soon. Is there anything that you've encountered throughout the day in his, like 2 times he's been live so far?
Yeah. Well, of course he is still on his bullshit. And I'm now Chad's wife and sister, so I'm just gonna start referring to Chad as my brother husband. But today he is still, before your live started, he went on to state that he's lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars along with Tina and Xander. And that because of we the people, you people, they're going to be able to catch thousands of predators. So he's telling you who he is all the time. He
Right.
is going to take advantage of these people that are sending him money, and that is going to fund their bullshit. They're not doing anything. What is the saying? No excuses, just results. But yet we still have not seen him do anything. He doesn't do anything. What is he doing? I mean, he's lying about his action figures and he's got to go to
General
California.
awareness.
What's that?
he does general awareness. He's generally aware that his life is meaningless, but he doesn't want to admit it.
Last night's debacle, I originally thought that the girl in that video was an adult female, because from my view from my cell phone, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, he's actually found a woman to leech off of. And obviously it took me a few minutes after getting my laptop going to realize, holy shit, this is a child. I'm really bothered by this still. I don't know how any of you guys feel, if anyone didn't see it or they watched it, but her body language was one of being uncomfortable to begin with. And I just don't see how he's allowed to continue this behavior.
Right.
He's doing nothing but doxing people and hurting people. And I don't know if you guys saw his live after that and how he went after a domestic violence survivor and showing pictures of her nieces and her mom. And no, he has zero respect. He has no boundaries, and he lies. And it's constant. Well, here we go, guys. We got some action-packed information. Tonight's class starts at 8 p.m. And I think he and another person called them child protection classes.
Class actually consists.
You cut out. What'd you say?
The questions I have for him, like I told him.
You cut out. What'd you say?
That's one of the questions I had for him. Like I told him last night, let's have a chat. Let's just start from point A and go. And let me just ask you some questions so people just know what you're talking about, because he talks in circles. Trying to get an answer out of him about anything, it's a nightmare. It's a freaking nightmare.
So
and that's one of the questions I had is like,
yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Does he have credentials that... Oh, no, you're fine. Like, I wanted to ask him if he has credentials. What other than this 4-hour online class or whatever have you taken? Tell me where you've trained, who you've trained with. We, as a community, have a right to know. Just like he thinks he has a right to dig about all of us, we have a right to know who we're giving. When it comes to something of that magnitude, where you're telling people, send me $100, I'm going to give you a chocolate coin and you're going to be certified.
Yeah.
I want to know who's teaching me to certify me this, because they're basically all they are vigilante predator hunters. There's no LLC.
I sent you that link. I sent you that link last week. I think it was last week or maybe this weekend, where that online certification and human. Yes. So my big hunch is that he is a referral affiliate, and that's what he is going to be pushing, because he keeps saying that when we're done with all these classes, which I have a feeling these classes are going to last like 5,000 years, everyone will be certified. He can't certify anyone. He is not an accredited facility that can teach and has not met the vigorous standards. And then if you have an online website for certification, if there's an affiliate referral link, that means it is not legitimate or really recognized anywhere, because they're just making profit.
Right. And I just feel like, be upfront with that. When you're telling people, send me $100 for this membership, be honest about what they're getting in return. And I've seen so much happen with our community. I mean, our community has been through freaking hell since like October. with the fundraiser. And then just at this case, I used to think brought out so many good things. Like it opened my eyes to a few things involving another case I'm working on, which that really is what got me on Big Earn's ass, is that case, by the way. He had left, he's a numbers dude. Like he's all about the numbers and the views and the subs. I'm not. And you either love me or hate me. I don't go live every day. You may not hear from, like this time it was almost a month. And I don't go live unless I have something to say. But he left a negative comment on a video I did where I did an interview with his mother. This victim was from Tennessee, and one of the reasons he was killed actually had to do with the fact that he did not want to help law enforcement traffic young girls. And he had too much knowledge and he was killed. He had the audacity to leave a negative comment on that video telling me how boring it was. That right there opened my eyes and let me know what kind of person he is. That mother has been fighting for justice for her son for over 2 years. So don't tell me that that video is boring and try to convince a group of vulnerable people what a great guy you are, because it's a load of crap. And I'm going to call you out on it.
So Ernie doesn't have the ability
and Tina
to.
Thinks she's a whistleblower? No, Tina.
What's that?
I was going to say Tina calls herself a whistleblower. No, I'm a whistleblower, and I'm about to blow the whistle on all of their shit because I do know the laws. And the way they're trying to spin it, it's not right. And people need to realize that because they're not safe.
It's Tina is just a puppet master of the guys that she brings into her circle. And she has zero credibility with me, period. I don't care. I mean, I can admit that there are some things with Tina that I will agree on that I've seen her post, like on her Facebook page. But she is a very toxic person. And then you group a bunch of toxic people together, and this is what we have. They do talk in circles. They have very grandiose goals that they won't reach. It's a con. This is a fucking YouTube hustle. This is what it is. It's a hustle. They're not doing anything. They are not doing anything.
Right. And
but can I just say something for the people in here that are, I'm kind of glancing at comments, and there are some people in here that I believe need to hear this. If you actually trust in Ernie and what he's doing, and you think he is honest and truthful, you need to go to the Stands page from last week where Ernie is on live with them. Ernie cannot answer a question truthfully, and this is one big example. He keeps saying his brother Shelby is a serial killer. So when asked by Jimbo about that, he was like, well, the prosecutor said it. You were right there. Remember? So he uses the word remember to try to manipulate the answer that he wants to hear. And Jimbo says, no, I don't remember. Now, a few minutes prior to that, Ernie was describing how Jimbo and Ernie were treated almost like criminals. No, that's called sequestration of a witness. You guys, when you're a witness, you cannot sit in to the trial because it could contaminate your testimony. Exactly. So how would you have heard the prosecutor say this? Or how a Jimbo, when they were both sequestered, unless it was like in closing arguments, which at that point witnesses can sit after they've testified, as long as both sides have determined they're not going to be, they're not going to bring them back for questioning. And
Exactly.
he can't answer questions. He will deflect, he will jump to a different topic. He did that when Kemper was asking him questions. You want to know the true Ernie Mac Shell and how honest he is? Go listen with very clear ears, because like he says, our eyes deceive us. Well, your ears do too if you're biased, and his subs really think he's a god. You have to listen. You have a group of educated people on YouTube that are trying to educate these subs so that they don't continue to get ripped off by him. And you can't have all these people against you, huge content creators, if you're legit. That's not how this works. Everyone was able
Right.
to see through it. So pay attention to how he answers tough questions, that when he can't control the narrative. That's why he won't come up on your live. He can't control the narrative.
Exactly. And, I was going to be polite about it, like, yeah, I'll go in chats and I make smart ass comments all day. I've said he's a baby Gap model and he needs onesies and pull ups. I don't deny that. I can be an asshole. I wear that proudly. But it's just, I also try to bring humor into everything to kind of lighten the mood, because as someone who has been through what he claims to want to protect these children from,
Wow.
it's livid, because any true and every this goes across the board, everyone. If you want to know how investigations run, you don't know they're happening half the time. Like, he's sitting there saying that he has all these people watching. That's a scare tactic. Okay. I've made phone calls. I've talked to people. I know people. There's no doubt in my mind that TBI probably does watch all of us at some point. But do I think that he has dedicated people sitting there watching his channel? No.
No.
And that freaks me out that he's trying to tell people that. And it bothers me that these women, the true crime community is already full of vulnerable people. That's what draws people in. It's just, once you've gone through something horrific, and not only did I have stuff happen to me when I was younger, my brother-in-law was killed and he didn't get justice. And that's what gets me on people like that. And I try to look at everything, with an open mind. But the investigator in me, because I am Ernie Shell, going to school for criminal justice to be a death investigator, jackass, I know things. I can't help but look at every situation like it's an investigation. And I've been investigating the shit out of all three of them for the past 3.5 weeks that I've been quiet. And they're liars. They're all liars. I don't care what screenshots and what pictures they post of little printed certificates. I want names of places you've trained. I want names of people who trained you. Like I said earlier, like, I want to know things, and I'm going to uncover all of it, because if I can just keep one or two of these women safe. What he did to Savannah blew my mind, and I watched it unfold right in front of me, and he manipulated that absolute shit out of that situation.
Absolutely. He
He,
absolutely did. And another thing, when he uses the, oh, yeah, I was a U.S. Marshal, that is absolutely impossible, because to become a U.S. Marshal, you have to have a 4-year college degree along with training, like experience, not training, experience. You'd go through the 19-week training that is like a police academy. Um, he's never worked for the U.S. Marshal Service, and he uses that as a lie to gain the trust of those that are easily manipulated. Um, he has this complex that he probably wanted to be a police officer so
Yes.
badly that now he just pretends to have been one. And when he says, I've never claimed to be law enforcement, the U.S. Marshal Service is the oldest law enforcement faction of the country. Like, aside from sheriffs, very long ago, it was U.S. Marshals. And it's a way to make these women trust him. And it's sickening to me because then that takes away, once these women realize that he is a fraud, they're going to have a hard time trusting other people, but other people that are actually in the law enforcement area.
Right. And you know, it's sad because I don't know why I Savannah was on the very first open panel I ever did. I remember it like it was yesterday, and she was very quiet. And ironically enough, it was an open panel we did about BK, but we're not going to talk about that. And she was just so quiet and shy, and I knew that there was a story there. And she was so brave that day to get up there with us and just be there. And I kind of just lost contact with her after that. I would see her here and there, and then she popped up and was a mod for him, and I was a little taken aback, and I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach. And then it came out that they were asking for ID. And you guys, I posted it on my community page. They think that they have the right to ask for ID because it's like going to buy a pack of cigarettes, or it's like applying for a job. No, it absolutely is not.
Right.
When you go buy a pack of cigarettes, they get your ID for 2 seconds. Half the time, they don't even actually read what's on it. They just look at it because it looks good for the camera. And then they give it right back. Okay, they don't take it to a back room and make a copy of it or take a picture of it or anything like that. They don't all have great memories. Most of them can't count back change. So they don't just have a photographic memory and they know right where you live and they're coming to get you. When you apply for a job, employers are bound by law to not do anything with that information. If they take your application, they keep it on file for 6 months, then they toss it. If they hire you, then it's processed and kept in a secure place. If they don't hire you after 6 months, it gets shredded. I know this. I worked in retail management for many years.
You are absolutely correct. They are bound by federal and state laws regarding identification. And his promotion, promoting it as this is, vetting for employment. We have an LLC. You are then now liable. And
there's no LLC.
Right, I know that. But what they are
Yeah, I know I feel like we can't tell people that enough. If anyone has any questions, it's real simple. Go to the Tennessee Secretary of State website, or just Google, how can I find out if someone's an LLC in the state of Tennessee? It'll direct you right to it. You put in rescue our children, and I've looked at it from every different name possible. It's not there. I will post it again on my community page. I've done it once. Every day it says no records found, no records found.
And they don't have a nonprofit either. So anybody that did give him identification and they are using it in a way to run a background check on you, they could use that to potentially harm your credit score, take things out in your name, stalk you, which
yes,
I'm very familiar with what happened to Savannah, and that's all I'm going to say. I understand the entire story and everything that was done to her. And I am honestly shocked. No, I'm not shocked. I really, really pushed for you need to file a police complaint. But at the same time, what if they are using that to clone accounts on social media and make it look like it's her? I don't know. I feel like if anyone gave him their identification, you just sit back and wait. The first time he's paranoid and pissed off and you say the wrong thing or he interprets it incorrectly, you will be the next on the chopping block and you need to file a police report and do whatever, even if you have the ability to contact a lawyer, because a lawyer can do more and guide you um, into other areas, because sometimes police departments don't take it seriously. They feel like it's a victimless crime. It's not. This is not a victimless crime. An A&M
Right.
mobile wash. I cannot speak for Chasing Justice, but I am not from Tennessee. I did not search for Summer Wells. I am only here in the YouTube community because Ernie left Facebook. Facebook was toxic, but he is actually worse here on YouTube. Imagine that. He is horrible since he started YouTube. So no, I didn't look for Summer Wells. I don't know about Chasing Justice, but not everyone needs to get involved with Summer Wells. There are so many people in the YouTube community that are active participants.
Right. As far as me, I don't live in Tennessee. I actually have never reported on the Summer Wells case. Everyone assumes that I have. I've given my opinions on some things. I can tell you that that opinion changes as more stuff comes out. I've been following the case since day one. I was there when AB first reported on it, and then him and Tiffany started reporting on it together. So I've seen it all. You know, there's streams I've done, you know, about my opinions. I think I gave my opinion in the stream called Clean Up on Aisle 7. I'm only reported on two cases. One is the Aaron Shane Key case out of Tennessee and the Joshua Bohannon case out of Tennessee with school and family, things like that. You know, it doesn't leave a lot of time, and I like to put all my effort into what I do. But then I've done reporting on things like this. So, yes, I do remember when Ernie first came on the scene with the Summerwell case. There was a racetrack incident and allegedly finding some toy or something like that, and it was a big fiasco. I was also in AB's Facebook group when Tina Simmerly, I know you're listening, girl, took a woman's pictures from her Facebook page and proceeded to, they were pictures of her grandchildren, I believe, and proceeded to plaster them all over social media.
Yes,
Um,
that was Tamori crafting through the lies.
okay, yeah, and you know, that caused a big uproar. So it's always been problems with him. He went away for a little while and then he came back as this whatever the hell he is. And, you know, like I watched what he did to Savannah, and that was the biggest display of manipulation I've ever seen in my life. There was so much gaslighting going on. I thought I was going to burst into flames. Um, and people, you really have to pay, like he's always saying, general awareness. You got to know what you're looking at. Well, I'm going to tell you, you need to know what you're looking at because he pulled that girl up there and she asked a simple question based on the fact that he had just said that he was in Texas. I heard it with my own two ears. And so in the chat, she said, wait, she said, like, I thought you were in Texas, or are you in Texas? She was like basically confirming what he had already said, but he got all butthurt over it. So
There's a reason, there's a very significant reason why she asked that question. And I don't have the right to say why because I said I would not. But there was a reason she asked.
I think I have a pretty good idea of what it is,
Yes.
but
Yes.
for like just the people that are just still, I mean, there's people that aren't even really know what they're defending and what they're fighting for. Like, and I was there the night that she said someone was following her. You know, I'm always watching. I really am. And it's not that I'm hate watching, it's just that I wish people would watch more. Even if you don't like the person, just go ahead and give them the damn view. Is it really worth it? Go in incognito and you don't even have to worry about it, but you just can't chat. I have to take it all in. I have to gather facts. And so I do, at first, I'm going to admit, Savannah, I was like, well, is someone really following her that
I would
first night
say
when it was going on? I
I
was
would
like,
say
or maybe
that
she's just scared.
no, I think her worry was very justified. Um,
And it, in the end, I ended up thinking, yes, someone like she had a right to feel the way she felt that first night. Then he pulls her up on that next stream after he has let the chat have a go at her. And she's trying to figure out what the hell's going on and defending herself, but not only against him, up there kind of like saying all kinds of stuff to keep it going in the chat, but not really saying anything at all. And so the chat's breaking her down. She's trying to figure out what's happening and what she did wrong. She agrees to go up on his panel and he just rips into her. And I see him start to slowly play with her mind. And he tried to control it, but she didn't react the way he thought she had got her to a point of reacting. When he asked her, what color was the truck that was following you? And he said, was it black? He expected her to say yes. And when she didn't, then he had to have some reason that the truck ended up being red and not black. Because if it would have been black, then he would have said, that was my people and we were making sure you were okay. Because that makes him look like the big guy, the protector, right? It draws people in and gains their trust. She said it was red. So his next go to is to say, remember when I asked you how far away you were from Benny? He's like putting it in her head that it's Benny following her around. But the thing is the night that that happened, I was watching Benny on a stream.
oh, I mean, I understand, but you got to realize he chooses who his mods or inner circle are going to be based on their submissive personality. And probably these women have a history of
Mm-hmm.
abuse, violence, sexual assault. And
Yeah.
and this is typical narcissistic behavior. They know who will make an easy victim. And he is so extremely abusive that he doesn't show himself right away, but he has been showing himself over and over and over. And
Yes.
like this Lindsay Marie girl, ugh, I mean, it's so cringy to see their undying loyalty to him. And he's going to do it to them as well. He will. It'll happen.
Mm-hmm. And that's what, like, you people that have given you, and I don't know, people are still giving IDs or not. I mean, but, and also, if you don't take all of that we've just talked about out of the equation, okay, it goes against YouTube terms of service under permissions and restrictions, number 3 and 4. I posted it on my community page. Nobody can use this platform to harvest information. That's not what it's designed for. You cannot do that. And although doing that isn't a crime, it's the crap that these people have no fear in doing after the fact. That is the problem. And that's when it will cross over into criminal. but don't let it get to that point. Don't trust them with your information. Paying for these memberships and ordering this merchandise. Ask them who's going to be paying the taxes on all of this at the end of the year. Is it going to be Rescue Our Children? Because they don't have an EIN. Is it going to be Ernie? Because he doesn't have employment. Is it going to be
Yeah,
Predator
there's
Husband?
no, yeah,
I
if they don't
mean,
have an EIN number, then they're not paying taxes. And
is it going to be
yeah,
Predator
there's no,
Husband?
whoops, sorry.
Yeah, they're paid memberships. Okay, who are we paying? Are we paying him personally? These are questions that I have that I was going to give him the opportunity to just come up here and give honest answers and cut the bullshit. It's a show over there. I can't even go in that chat without him trying to call me out for something and mocking the fact that it was my husband's birthday, which Ernie, little big Ern, you're an asshole, okay? My husband didn't get off early for me. You're sitting there trying to sexualize the fact that it was my husband's birthday yesterday. We've been married 18 years. We have 3 kids. We're not exactly banging the bed into the wall every night, okay? It's really none of your business. But for him to sit there in the chat and be like, I hope you had a nice night with your husband. Like just being gross about it. And then like alluding to the fact that maybe I don't even have one. Yes, I have one. He's a pain in my ass. And he'd probably say the same thing about me. But yes, it was his birthday. We had a great time. We cooked steaks on the grill. We enjoyed time with our kids. It was wonderful. So thank you for your concern, Big Ern. But it's just so gross. And when he sexualized that woman
He sexualizes
breastfeeding her
everything.
child, that was just disgusting. I mean, the list goes on. Exactly. I mean, when he did that to Tiffany about move your hair back. I mean, so he could sit there and like look at the points of her eyebrow and stuff like that because, and this is opening up a whole nother bag of crazy. But Tina said that she asked that question about Tiffany on Facebook as a way to test Gigi's accuracy with research. Okay, well, Gigi failed because Tiffany wasn't meth cropped. It was a whole nother Tiffany in a whole nother state. Well, then crazy Gigi is planning this meet and greet. Next thing I know, they give me whiplash over there. So
Oh,
they're going
yeah.
to have this meet and greet at that gross cafe or whatever and eat chicken salad till they're throwing up on each other, I guess, and give autographs. Gigi wanted to give autographs, but Gigi also says, I'm kin to Benny and I'm involved in Summer's
Oh, these people are so
disappearance because
cringy.
Ancestry.com told her she's on to something. She's because Chris McDonough, used to be Doug's mother until the operation. Then he became Doug's father from a previous marriage.
Oh.
And we're all involved in Summer's disappearance. And the reason we get all in a huffy over this inaccurate information being put out is because they're getting too close to the
Oh my God.
truth. Gigi
I'm gonna
even
go.
emailed
I
YouTube
gotta.
and said, if you don't do something about this, then I'm leaving YouTube and taking YouTube.
I've got to get out of here and head home, but I wanted to say something real quick to Honest Rage. Honest
Yeah.
Rage, you are just such a positive person through all of this fuckery in every chat, and I don't know how you do it, but just know it does not go unnoticed.
She's great. And I gotta admit, Honest Rage, I had you blocked up until a couple of weeks ago, but
All right, I got to get out of here. I'm
I
gonna
mean, I'm
start
sure you
watching from
remember
the.
the beginning. So all that's water under the.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
leave.
right.
I gotta go home. I'm
Thanks
gonna
for
listen
stopping
from
in.
the car. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So that was good. And I was hoping that and I know that there are people here that are listening from his channel. And you guys, this isn't about me slamming them. I mean, I probably will in the process, but that's just kind of how I am. I mean, Lord knows, Tina just called me a turd last night and said she had to flush me down the toilet, but she doesn't know anything about me. This isn't about me not liking them. No, I don't care for them. They have crap personalities. They're screwing people over in this community. And we all know, if you've ever listened to anything I've done, I don't like when people mess with the subs and the viewers. My opinion is the subs and the viewers are top priority, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Like, what would be the point? It's about opening up and being honest and explaining things in a way that people can understand, because you never get a complete thought out of any of them. They always are tag teaming each other for answers, or it's, they want you to find the answers. Like, well, figure it out. Look, listen to what I've been telling you. Well, you haven't been telling us anything. You've been telling us that this Alicia Turner person, who I have not been able to verify who she is, but from what I found, all these connections she has, like, am I missing something? You would think that someone who is such a professional, who has all these ties to all of these people, would have something on like LinkedIn or some of these business sites, right? It's about making contacts and putting yourself out there, especially when you're like a publicist or something. You don't just hide in the shadows of YouTube and wait till someone plucks you out and puts you to work. So I want to know, like, this, and it's not me slamming the cause. See, Ernie likes to twist anyone that goes against him and try to say or allude to the fact and insinuate that they're predators or they're involved in any type of trafficking. I'm not involved in any of that. And all of the people who I know that you've accused are not involved in any of that either. So I don't know what kind of proof you keep saying is going to come. I've been waiting for a month for the big shebang, and it hadn't happened yet. If anyone wants to know why it's so hard to get rid of people like Ernie, like, yeah, you can get his channel taken away, and good Lord, DK, clock's ticking. Can you hurry up on that, please? Like, yes, that's one way, but they're just going to pop back up. I mean, what he's doing, it's gross. It's dangerous. They do not have the right to gather anyone's information. By all means, if you have given him your information, just for shits and giggles, just humor me and go ahead and just flag all of your information. So that way, if something, God forbid, does happen to you, you can be alerted, because it can take years to fix everything that they can potentially mess up in a couple of hours. Not only that, we know that this dude drives around everywhere, right? According to him, he's just traveling all over the place. None of us know him from Adam. None of us should trust him knowing where we live, or who he's associated with. So if you're going to vet all of us because we speak out against you in your chat or we question, don't invite me up to your panel, tell me I'm scared, and then your mods time me out. What kind of chicken shit crap is that? I wouldn't have gone up there anyway, because like I said, I was preparing for this, which you, Tina, Xander, Crazy Gigi, and Trashy Trisha were invited to. But none of y'all are here. This isn't about Benny A&M. I've said it in a chat, I think last night and again today. Benny and I have our history. That's for Benny and I to sort out. No, I don't agree with everything he does, and I think he's well aware of that. And he doesn't agree with the way I do things sometimes. I don't know if he ever agrees with the way I do things. But we're not at each other's throats right now. So everyone just needs to accept that. we're definitely not talking on the phone every day or going out to lunch either. So it is what it is. No, I don't agree with everything that a lot of people do. That's just the way life works. That makes for great conversations when you don't agree with everything. But I've been focused on Ernie. Like, I'm not worried about Benny right now. And I don't think he's worried about me. It just is. We're coexisting. But Ernie, they don't need to have your information. I would be leery about purchasing memberships. I'd even be leery about purchasing merchandise, actually, unless you're going to have it shipped to a P.O. box. And then sitting there and telling people, oh, we're doing reverse email searches. We're going to find out who you are right now. That's a manipulation tactic. It's a fear tactic. There's going to be a few people in there who really aren't on anyone's side. They don't support Ernie. They don't support the people calling him out. They're just there to have something to listen to, who now might live in fear because you got someone sitting there who claims to be this big bad professional, the eye of the freaking tiger, who is literally sitting there telling his audience that I'm looking all of you guys up. Oh, let's find out who you are. Let's find out who you are. And then doxing people, right? Because we all saw him try to dox Nicolina. I recorded it. Any real investigator is not going to sit there on YouTube multiple times a day telling you about all the great things they're doing. A real investigator, a real professional, might hop on YouTube once or twice a week if they're actually sharing information, bullet points and PowerPoint presentations and things like that. And I know he refers to Chris Hansen. Remember from TV? Okay, I'm not buying that whole Chris Hansen video he keeps playing because I know all about Cameo. I'm going to have Chris Hansen say a cameo for me, and Ernie and the gang might not like it. But a true investigator is not going to be on social media all day telling you that they're doing all of these investigations. They're going to be out there actually doing them. He doesn't have credentials to be teaching anything. And if this membership is a backdoor way of trying to charge for a class you don't have the knowledge and the authority to teach, is a big problem for me. And I'll be looking into that. So, Ernie, while you're over there playing this on your channel or whatever you're doing, or while you're sitting there trying to go to sleep tonight, I want you to come up with some answers for these. Because if Ernie doesn't retort to this live stream, which means respond to it and present some solid answers based off fact to respond to this, all the questions I'm asking, that should be a big red flag for people, because a true professional would not have a problem doing that. A true professional would have all of this stuff put together, ready to present to the world and say, hey, this is our $100 membership level. For that $100, your money is going to go, 50% is going to go to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The rest is going to cover your medallion, your tooth for your hat, your tack shirt, and whatever the crap else you get. A poster or some autographed picture, some shit. All the money, or 25% of what's left, is going to go towards production of materials. The other 25% is going to go to printing. I hate the way he says pamphlets, but like brochures and crap. The curriculum, right? Because you should get a little book mailed to you so you can answer questions, take notes so you can pass your test. Because also with your $100 membership, You're going to get a certificate because you will be officially certified in Predator Hunting 101, and it's from an accredited company. This is my credential. All of that should be explained beforehand, not this is what you're going to get, but go ahead and email me because there's only 100 of the $100 memberships available. So how do you pay for these memberships? Who do I make my check out to, Ernie? Who do I write in my register that I've used my debit card to? Whose name is on that account? All of this stuff is what real professionals do. Real professionals of nonprofits, real professionals in the investigation field, real professionals in any capacity. Why people can't understand that? Would you look at it simply? Let me take it down a notch. Let's say someone came and knocked on your door and said, ma'am, I am an ethical representative of a nonprofit LLC known as Rescue Our Children, and we have $100 membership slots available. So if you go ahead and pay me, then as soon as all the stuff's ready, we'll send you out your ethical merchandise. And you'll be certified, but we don't have a consistent class schedule. There's no literature or books that go with it. You just show up to YouTube a couple of times a day, and for about 10 minutes, we're going to watch someone else's stranger danger video. And the rest of the time, you're going to get to hear me sit here and call out people in the chat and threaten to dox them. Would you like to pay $100 for that, ma'am? So if you wouldn't do it to the person coming to your door trying to sell it to you, why are you all of a sudden so trusting giving this man all your information online after it's been shown time after time what a friggin' piece of crap he is? He's rude as shit. His partners are rude as shit. They play the sheep song because, let's face it, what does that do? That manipulates people into going along with what they're saying, because who the hell wants to be called a sheep? If you don't go along with what you're saying, well, then that sheep now applies to you. So no. I got blocked in that freaking chat for saying that the sheep song was too gimmicky for a group of professionals, in my opinion. It is. Do better. Call people a damn sheep because they don't want to go along with your nonsense. You look like fools up there trying to push yourself off as these great people. Don't get it twisted, though. I can get behind the whole predator hunting movement. I'm all for it. I'm a mother, for crying out loud. I have a 17-year-old daughter who is friggin' beautiful, and I have an 8-year-old daughter who's never met a stranger in her life, and she'll talk to anybody. I'm constantly watching her. I don't even like taking her to the store with me if I'm having a bad day or I have a lot of other stuff on my mind, because I want my undivided attention to be on her. I know how to keep my children safe as a mother, but I'm also smart enough, and I've seen enough in this lifetime to know that there are horrible, horrible, evil people out in this world, and they portray themselves as these knights in shining armor who know it all, but they've got their hand out in the process wanting something in return. But all the while, they're screaming We do this for you. This is for you guys. We're not doing this because we want to. Yeah, we love catching predators, but this is all about keeping you and your loved ones safe. No, assholes. It's about lining your pocket and preying on vulnerable, unsuspecting, easily manipulated people. And don't get me wrong, I've been easily manipulated too. It's not a bad thing, it makes us human. It's called having empathy. When you have empathy, it's easy to be manipulated. But they are taking all the bad behaviors that they're engaged in and they are trying to twist it into something good. What I saw last night made me sick to my stomach. How can these people, and they've all done it, Trisha, Crazy Gigi, Xander, Tina, Ernie, they've all done it. They will literally sit there. Ernie literally said one night that, do you know how many predators are online every day? He didn't even know the freaking answer. He had to ask whoever is on his phone, Cortana or whatever, Alexa, Bixby. And the answer was there are over 500,000 predators active online every day. And you know what these idiots do? They turn right around and they put their children, their grandchildren, nieces, whoever on freaking YouTube with them. You just said that there are online predators, 500,000 of them active all day, every day. And you, the predator hunters, have your children and your grandchildren behind that camera for the world to see. You sick ass people. And if I'm wrong, then you get your butts over here and convince me I'm wrong. Or for the love of all things holy, at least go live later tonight and put me in my place and tell me how wrong I am and back it up with proof. Because as of right now, I'm not sold. You're scum. You came here and you latched on to a case. Ernie, why did you get your online trafficking certification 12 days before Summer went missing? You want to sit here and try to put together crazy conspiracies? Explain that, because the way you tell it, you've been doing this your whole damn life. Or at least since June 15th, 2021, give or take. So explain that, Ernie. Get on here. My questions are simple. What new direction is Rescue Our Children going in? Because I got to tell you, little Big Ern, you were doing good there for about 2.2 seconds, and then you took a nosedive back into the cesspool of activity that you've always been involved in since the day you came around, and it's disgusting. So what new direction are you going in? What are you going to do? What do you want to be when you grow up, Ernest Maxwell? Tell us the truth. When did you apply for your LLC and where did you apply for it? Because if you give me that information, I can go online, verify, and I will come online and tell the world that Chasing Justice got it wrong and you have a legit thing going. And Ernie, quit hinting around about how great Alicia Turner is. Who is she? Where has she worked before? Let's give her resume, shall we? Let us know about this person who is now in charge of all this general awareness education. And let us look into her, because I'm sure that you've done your fair share of looking into people. Now it's our turn. Because I could tell you, Ernie, what I found on Alicia Turner, on what limited information I have, it's like she doesn't even exist. But there's a couple of other people with the same name. They just spell it differently. Again, what are your credentials that you have enabling you to teach these classes online for your $100 memberships that you're going to certify everyone in? Explain. Where does their certification come from? How are your memberships set up? If you need me to, Ernie, I can write it in crayon for you. Like, what EIN number is it listed under? Who pays the taxes? Who's in charge of all this money? Are you going to give like a quarterly report of where all your nonprofit expenses go? I should be able to find that online after the first quarter. Other than the 4-hour online class, what other training do you have for all of this? You never know. I might want to broaden my horizons and get the same training. And Trisha Jenkins, you do not. You absolutely do not, even though it appears you may have already dropped out. You don't have to go to law school to become a private investigator. And I would honestly consider working at Dairy Queen because your investigation skills suck. The things that Tina has said, let me just give you some examples. Okay, here's one thing. The Gigi and Tina conflict. At 14:11 on the Good Morning Investigator stream, which I think has been removed since. Let's see what date that was. Oh, February 16th. That was the panel that Savannah Smiles was on when I just wanted to jump through the screen and throat punch you. At 14:11, Tina Simmerly says Gigi's husband bought a t-shirt for $25 and asked what Ernie's cash app was when he ordered a shirt. No one stole anything from Gigi. Ernie says they didn't send me 200 because I guess they were saying that they sent Ernie 200, but they're requesting 25, 50, $10. We know what we're going to do. What'd you end up doing, Ernie? What did you end up doing over that Gigi Cash App fiasco? Then poor Savannah at 23:08 comes on in that stream and she feels defeated. At 23:26, Tina pipes in and says Gigi was telling us Savannah was the enemy and to get her out of here. So Ernie tested a few people. I talked Savannah out of a bad moment after Gigi put out video that Savannah was someone else. So Gigi, you're notorious about putting out information about people being someone else. So what can I do to help you? What can I do to help you with your research? I'm glad to help anyone who doesn't know where to go find answers. I'll even help them find the answer, and I don't even care because unlike some people, I do care about the safety and the well-being of our subs and viewers. I care about the victims that I have to speak about. I care about people in this community that I have seen manipulated simply because they had something traumatic happen to them in their life through no fault of their own. Nobody deserves to be preyed upon, especially not by people who just have this inferiority complex and the desire and the need to feel like they're better than everyone. I think that all parents probably wish that they could do everything in their power. Pat Pollard, get out of here. Everything in their power to keep their children safe. I know that as a parent, I do. But none of us, unfortunately, we all have a story that's already been written. The ending is already known, not to us. We can make choices that might alter that ending. And of course, I'm all for taking in all the information you can, learning all you can, how to be better out there with the evil walking around. Of course, we have to be vigilant. Of course, it takes a team to keep children safe. And of course, there absolutely are people out there preying on men, women, and children. I mean, let's face it, nobody's off limits these days. People are currency to a lot of people. That's how little value a human life holds these days. And it's unfortunate. But in reality, if you guys really want to do some research, and I'm not trying to push my religion onto anyone, don't get me wrong at all. I'm a Southern Baptist, in case you can't tell by my accent. I fully believe that the Bible is the instruction manual that all of us claim we didn't get. The ending's right there. Like, all this bad stuff is supposed to happen. I'm not shocked by any of it. I'm not afraid of any of it. I just try to live each day like there might not be a tomorrow. And I try to put everything I've got into each day. And trust me, I fall short all the time. But I don't get up here and intentionally lie to people and try to pretend to be something I'm not, Pat Pollard, because that serves no purpose whatsoever in the goals that I want to accomplish in my life. And that is to be the best sister I can be, the best wife I can be, the best mother I can be, the best aunt I can be, and the best daughter-in-law I can be. Unfortunately, my parents aren't with me anymore. But you know what? They raised a smart cookie. And my dad taught me to be strong. And my dad taught me to never back down when I see something that's wrong. And what these people are doing, unless they can come up with some kind of good explanation and convince me that maybe I'm the crazy one, because there's always a chance of that, right? Maybe I'm not really seeing all the things I think I am. But trust me, I'm pretty good at paying attention to detail. I'm kind of training to be like that. And I've been training for this shit my entire life. And I'm going to call people out because I do not feel that weak people are any less valuable than any of the rest of us. And they don't deserve the nasty crap that these people are trying to do. And Tina Simmerly, before I forget, please explain that video from 2012 where that child is screaming like that and why you thought that was appropriate to put it online and then pretend like you are the epitome of all mothers and your heart is only in this for the children, because that child was in pain and you should be ashamed of yourself. And the fact that you have not even bothered to remove that video, even knowing that every one of us are talking about it, trying to figure out what the actual fuck you were thinking. It blows my mind, because that was the most disgusting thing from someone who has the nerve to say that they are part of Predator Hunter Nation. You are sick. And I don't think that there is any way that you could explain that and make it okay. How can you sit there and listen to that child screaming like that, begging for their mother, and then have the nerve to come online and talk about stranger danger and general awareness and this and that? And Ernie, you and your freaking Fox article or news piece coming out. Let me tell you, I found an article on Fox. Sure did this morning. Fox 43, I believe, talks about vigilante predator hunting groups and what a pain in the ass they are for law enforcement. You know why? Because when law enforcement is hunting for predators, or when they do take help from vigilante groups, you know the difference in those vigilante groups and what you do? Because I asked you one time when you were on Tiffany's panel, I asked you why you let that guy go in the park. And your response to me, Mr. Professional, was, what did you want me to do with them? Why go through all the trouble of hunting this predator down and calling him out and send him home to go get behind a computer screen and do it again? You've just enabled it because in his mind, these people are sick. They have sick, like childlike minds. In their mind, you basically just told that guy it's okay to go home and keep doing what he's doing. Because what are the odds that he's going to run into the man with the tooth hat again? Very slim. When police do this crap, they are well trained, they are well versed, they are in a controlled environment, and they make an arrest. The least you could have done is had all of your evidence compiled in a nice little file, because that's what I do when I'm researching anything. I put everything in a file, and each one of you have one. And all your crap is being documented. And I'm not even going to try to scare you and say, oh, these people are watching. We've got investigators. You dummy. If you got investigators who are not supposed to be known sitting behind a screen, you're not supposed to tell people they're there. That's not how it works. So there. You're doing it all wrong. So enough with trying to boost yourselves up and make yourselves feel like you're doing something good in life. Tina, you need to take a seat, step down, and worry about that damn restaurant, because I used to own a restaurant. I know it will suck the life right out of you. It's a beyond a full-time job, and you have a family on top of that. Ernie obviously needs help. And just because you walked out of there and you got to punch a couple of cops to say on camera that you got to leave, that you didn't have any warrants, great. But you were still arrested and charged for being intoxicated in public, but you weren't drunk. So something was going on with you. And you have all these people. Tina just sat there last night and said she felt like you were being handled. You have handlers, Ernie. And what is she doing? She's handling you today. She was handling you today. She was running your videos for you. She was pausing and muting and doing this and doing that for you. And you're supposed to be the one running the show, right? Because that's all it is a freaking show. That one little line in your digital journal article, one line said everything there is to say about what really motivates you in this. Hopes to get a TV show or a movie. Yep. Not my goal in this is to save as many children as possible, to bring children home who have been away from their families too long, to prevent this from happening to another child, to reunite families who had lost all hope of ever seeing their child again. No, that whole entire article was about how great you are, all the good things you can do, all the things you know, and the fact that you hope to get a TV show or a movie out of this. That's all it's about for you, isn't it? You have this desire for attention. Like you can't get enough of it. And that has become apparent in the way that you do things. You love to be seen. You love people to tell you how great you are. You eat it up when you see those people in the chat just talking about, people who just have questions. I've seen people go in your chats and get timed out just for asking a question. Why time someone out and block them and call them out and try to, turn a whole chat against them just because they are exercising their First Amendment right to open their mouth and ask a question. Does it feel that threatening to you when someone doesn't agree with you? You got to turn that damn frown upside down and just laugh that shit off. People don't agree with me all the time. I don't care. I like a challenge. I love a challenge. It's like I can't help but go through life and think, okay, I have to find the answer. I just want to find the answer. That's all I'm looking for here. And you try to turn my stream into some big bash fest about you, telling me I'm just a turd and I need to be flushed as you whistle through your tooth space. I'm not one to normally sit there and go after people's looks like that, but you guys have been petty as hell. So I'm going to be petty. You have said all kinds of craziness about me, and you don't even know me. You assume that you know me. You don't know anything about me. Your people don't like me just because I come in there and I call you out. Just complete a thought, complete a sentence, answer a damn question, and then actually put that into motion. The answer you give, let that reflect your actions. Don't say that you're going to do one thing and then do something else. Because just a few days ago, you were sitting there sounding all pathetic and defeated, like life had just really sucker punched you when you least expected it, and talking about this new path you were going to be on. But yet, just a couple of days later, when the heat's back on you, and people are still, there's still those lingering call outs going on and questions, you can't handle it. Look how easily triggered you are. And you want to go out there, you're a freaking loose cannon. And you want to go out there and confront these people and try to rescue children from these horrible, horrible people. Dude, I'm taller than you. And your attitude is way smaller than mine, too. You don't have all these law enforcement entities backing you up all the time like you say you do. You can't just hit FBI on speed dial, and you don't have the authority to sign warrants. You don't even have the authority to go get a warrant on someone. You, as a private citizen, do not have the authority to go take out a warrant on someone. You have the authority to file an incident report or a police report, and then they'll tell you what they're going to do with it. I bet you couldn't even explain the process of when you want to report someone for a cybercrime, because according to you, you have to go out of town to that person's police station, and that's not how it freaking works. You don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and let you continue to bully people and manipulate people and control people out of fear. If any of the women out there who are hearing this or who are going to continue to see me calling him out, I'm going to do it as many times as it takes. I'm probably not going to go live about it all the time, because what the hell? But I'm probably going to be in the chats, but don't worry, they block me every time. I even went in there with my best socks one day and all 5 pair got blocked. It's ridiculous. Man the hell up and just answer some questions. Explain it, okay? For the ones in the back. Make it make sense. Quit plastering your own children and your own minor family members all over social media, and then stealing other people's pictures of their children, and then act like you have the right to put anything out unless you have verified it. Right, Ernie? You're always saying, measure it twice or check it twice, cut it once. Okay. Follow through. Before you go put false information out about people and accusing people of being pedos and involved in trafficking rings of any sort, do your research. check it twice and cut it once, because what you're doing can affect people's real lives. You calling these people and that people, and just stop. And then maybe people will quit doing it to you. Y'all are supposed to be the professionals, and nobody else claims to be a professional. I can conduct myself professionally, but I'm not a professional yet. I'm a professional human being who lives in this world and know exactly what's out there. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. Stop putting people who don't deserve it through half the crap you're doing. Of course, all of these people who have given their information trust you right now, but it's like Nicolina said, it's like I've said, once you get mad at them, that's the point that they have to start being concerned. I watched it when you did it to Dave, the teddy bear dog. So it kind of broke my heart a little bit when I saw Dave, the teddy bear dog, sucked right back in today in the chat when you were being cute, saying, put a 1 in the chat if you sub to Chase Injustice. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. I don't care who subs to me. I have 84 people in here right now. That's more than I thought would be here. But it only takes one right person to hear anything I have to say, because one person can make a difference. And when it comes to shutting down your little scammy operation, I hope I can be that one person to do that. But I know that you guys think like criminals. You behave like criminals. You value human life like criminals. You don't care about anyone but yourselves. Because if you did, when people started saying, hey, you shouldn't be asking people for their ID, you should have looked into it and stopped immediately and apologized to everyone for your lapse in judgment, but you didn't. You tried to excuse it away and justify it by saying it's like buying a pack of cigarettes or applying for a job at McDonald's. No, it absolutely is not. People are giving their personal information to complete strangers. Complete strangers. I would never take anyone's personal information like that. I would never require it to give someone a little blue digital wrench that only gives them the power to delete comments and hide people and all that. It's not that serious. But to you guys, it is. To you guys, you think it's so serious. How about this? How about don't have a YouTube channel if you think it's going to get so out of control in your chats that you have to have all these mods? And, take turns doing the talking. Who's going to do the presenting that night of the actual educational stuff? And the other two sit there and be mods. Set it up like you're monetized. Set it up so that you have certain streams where only members can come, and charge them $1.99. Charge them 99 cents for all this wealth of knowledge you're giving them. Be smart. Set it up like a professional, and you wouldn't have so many people on your ass. And be consistent. Stick to it. Don't keep changing from one week to the next based on who pissed you off. People are always going to question you. There's always going to be people that go against you. So put your big boy britches on, fight the good fight, and just do it right. If you're doing it right, or as close to right as you possibly can, then you don't have anything to worry about. When people question you, it's because you've given them something to question. So essentially, it's your fault. So why are we the ones getting called out, blocked, and accused of crap over something that's your responsibility? It's your responsibility to vet everything before you put it online, information wise. If it's so serious that you need to do background checks on your damn YouTube mods because they're going to be handling sensitive information that has to do with law enforcement and the feds and stuff like that, no, they're not. Don't promise people that they're going to be privy to investigative information or things of evidentiary value in an active, open investigation. Because you're a liar if you promise that to people. You're not even in law enforcement. Remember, you keep telling us, I never said I was law enforcement. So why are you telling people that you need to look into them because they're going to be handling sensitive information? You don't have any investigations going on except the investigations you say you're doing on all of the people in your chat. But this is your verbal warning that you do not have permission to use my likeness, my image, my full name, my personal information, anything for any of your content. And if you were paying attention, you'll remember that I said, I know people. I've talked to people. I know things. I know how the processes go and exactly what I have to do to have your ass in a sling if you don't pay attention to my verbal warning you for the second time now. Do not harass me. Do not use my image. Do not use my personal information for any of your YouTube, Facebook, any content whatsoever. You do not have permission to share anything from my personal life with any of your associates. And I'll leave it at that. And if your investigators in your chat have a question, Ernie, they can come talk to me because I know how that works too. You're sick. Maybe you might have been able to pull this crap off somewhere else, but I don't think you knew what you were getting into when you barreled into this community and tried to shake it all up. People don't have the patience for this crap because maybe somewhere in the pit of your stomach, I would hope so because you're all parents. You do have a love and concern for children. But you know what? Worry about yours. I got mine. But I don't believe you're a charade. I don't trust anything about who you say you are or who you pretend to be. And I will continue to call out your bullshit and let it be known when you're lying. I can't make people listen, right? You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I can bring the information to you as I find it. And I will, because it's that serious. What he did to Savannah was just a big ball of manipulation. He did it to Dave, the teddy bear dog. And I think that the reason that, people had hoped that he was on this new path, that, that arrest and running around the highway like a freak, kind of shook him up a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I feel bad for the crap the man's been through in his life. I don't know about his childhood. I don't believe a lot of that stuff. But we do know that, yes, in fact, his brother killed someone. He was not a good guy. He made poor choices in his life, and he needs to pay for those choices. But we've all been through bad stuff. We've all had bad things happen to us. And I can guarantee you that each and every one of us have had at least one thing happen in our own lives that probably felt as bad to us as it felt to you when your brother went to jail or whatever happened. I think you know more than what you're saying in that situation too. I'll just be honest. But that doesn't give us the right to just shit on the world, okay, and do what we want and just treat people like crap. None of us have that right. Some people are just assholes and it's going to do it. I'm not always the nicest person in the way that I do things. I try to be. I like people. I'm not a hateful, horrible person. But I'm always going to be the one that's going to tell you the truth about stuff. And when I'm wrong, I'll come back and say I'm wrong. But right now, I don't think I'm wrong about you, Ernie Shell. I think you are a joke. And I think that you are only in this for fame and fortune. Nobody send that man your last dollar. I mean, hell, he just said a couple of weeks ago that he made $3,000 a week. Where's all that money, Ernie? If you were making $3,000 a week, that's $12,000 a month. And you mean to tell me that because you got arrested and spent a couple of hours in jail, that you have nothing now? You lost it all. You don't have a bank account with some of that money in it? You need to do better at adulting if that's the case. You know how long it would take me to spend $12,000? And Ernie, don't you ever try to talk shit about my husband again. My husband and I have had a rough go of it. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time that I'll probably never tell. It hasn't been easy, but we've made it 18 years, and that man works pretty much 6 days a week, every week, to provide for his family so that I can stay home and be the best mother I can be and go to school. So don't you dare ever think that you're going to crack a little joke and talk crap about him. Because I can tell you, if you ever came face to face with him, he would kick your ass up the street and back down again. So, unless anyone else would like to come up, I was hoping Crazy Gigi would be here. I'll touch on her for a little bit. That woman is nuts. The same thing. I don't understand how people can follow her. She blocked me on her channel because I went in one morning and she was talking about, she was trying to explain how Penny and Benny are related and this and that and all this stuff. And I simply said, how can we trust your research when you hit a foul ball with Tiffany? Boy, I hit a nerve with her. She started cussing me out and telling me that I'm not shit, that me and Benny arguing way back in the day was just it was a it was a scam because we're actually involved in Summer's disappearance. I mean, it's just nuts. You cannot go out accusing people of that. It even goes against YouTube's terms of service. I posted that on my community page too. Well, actually, I shared it. It was either the White Rabbit or AF Pennington that shared it about how it goes against YouTube's terms of service to accuse people of being involved in any kind of trafficking rings. Like that can cause detrimental stuff to happen to someone in real life. You go out here insinuating that all of us are involved in this horrid, vile stuff, these crimes against children. What's to stop anyone from showing up on one of our doorsteps and just shooting us, killing us, robbing my children of a mother because some moron looking up stuff on Ancestry.com said that I might be involved in a child's disappearance? And you people call yourselves like true crime gurus, research specialists. Well, I'll tell you what, anyone shows up on my doorstep and they're going to have another thing coming. Because we are well locked and loaded up in this house. But some people might not be. What happens if someone gets jumped in a parking lot because they were listening to one of your cockamamie live streams, or you're scrolling through Ancestry.com and oops, they might be involved in this, but maybe they're not. I'm just going to go ahead and report on it anyway. Yeah. So don't pretend that you care about anybody when you're putting people in danger, unknown dangers, every day. Don't be a part of their story being rewritten. It's just not cool. it's just unethical. Do you people not know anything about law and ethics and the way just the world works in general? There's enough shitty people in this world. Why not be one of the better ones? For what? For some YouTube fame? No. This isn't about YouTube fame for me. So when Ernie was like, it was a contest today, I got a little more subs than you do. I don't care. I really don't. They could all be gone tomorrow and I'd walk away. And I said in the very beginning when I started this, the day that YouTube starts to really change who I am, and it almost did. Like I got sucked in to some shit I don't agree with, and it bit me in the ass, but that's okay. It made me a better person. I learned from it, and that's what you should do. That's what every single one of us should do, is take every experience in our life, good or bad, and learn from it. Learn to be better, to grow. Don't get me wrong, there's still some people that I think are just total assholes. There's still some people that, even though they're not in my life anymore, I still care about. But I'm fine on my own. Ernie made the comment that he knows who I'm loyal to. I'm loyal to me. I'm loyal to what I believe in. I'm loyal to what I stand for. And I may not always be perfect at it. I'm going to make mistakes. But I'm also loyal to truth and owning up to those mistakes and admitting when I'm wrong. So, Ernie, I have to get off here because I am a mother. I have to go pick up my kids. I have missed everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, once again, the people that I invited didn't show up. Maybe they'll have us some answers, guys. I'm trying to get them for us. If anyone has any questions, feel free to email me at crimesceneuncovered.com. I will be upfront and honest. I'm horrible at checking emails, but I'm trying to get better. If it's important, you can always find me on Discord. I will be putting a link out to join my Discord on my community page soon. It's in the works, guys. I neglected my Discord for a little bit, but I'm getting it all back together. But I've missed everyone. I'm so glad that I got to do this today. Hopefully I'll get to do another one like this soon. Tomorrow, the plan is I will be going live at some point with Lisa Key to talk about her son Aaron, Ernie. So it really would be nice if you stopped by and apologized to that grieving mother for saying that the video about her son, who is no longer living, is boring to you. It's not entertainment, Ernie. It was a chance for a grieving mother to get her son's case heard because nobody wanted to do anything about it. And the people who kill him are still out there living life. So if you want to care about something, Ernie, care about showing up for that tomorrow to apologize to that woman. To everyone else, the new people, I have noticed you. Normally I like to try to say hi, but I was fired up today, guys. He got me. He got me before I was getting ready to go live. I was shaking. I was so irritated. But so I appreciate the new people that are here, the new subs. I have noticed new ones being added. So thank you. Like the banner says across the screen, I'm a broke ass college student, not afraid to admit it, but I'll never ask anyone for anything. I put it up there as a joke because everyone gets so butthurt about cash apps. But it is chasing justice. I would really rather you donate to Aaron Key's GoFundMe, though. She's trying to raise money to have him exhumed and have independent testing done. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So give to charity first before you give to me. God always makes sure I'm taken care of. Until next time, hopefully everyone can make it for the stream tomorrow to talk about Aaron. And I'm still watching everything. All right, guys, I will see everyone soon, and I'll see everyone chat. So, Kuna, good to have you back. Love you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.